Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the IHC Craft Room. I'm Mary, and I'm super excited to hang out with you this morning. This is live number 10 in my holiday how-to live series. I can't believe it. We've already done 10. We're making a super easy, and I mean quick, it's going to be quick, an elegant winter white candles. They're going to be 15 ounces, and we're going to cap them with the lids that we dot painted earlier this week during the dot along on Monday night. Which Mary from the future in the replay is going to put up here in this corner. So you can watch how we made these beautiful dot painted lids. And we're going to use these matte white 15-ounce Luxe jars from Village Craft and Candle, for which I am an affiliate. And you can get 5% off at checkout using code IHC5. Okay, we're going to do a whole bunch of fun stuff, but the first thing we need to do is measure out our wax so it can start melting, and then we can chat. So let me just get my grubs on, because I hate wax in my nails. I hate anything in my nails, frankly. And if you don't, you're a savage. All right, I'm going to be using my double boiler today. So we're going to measure some wax. Now, because I'm not using a huge pour pot, I'm going to use my small pour pot today, which is what I usually use. I can't fit enough wax for both of these candles in here without paranoia that I'm going to cause chaos with the world. So what I'm going to do is we're going to melt wax twice. That's what we're going to do. So before we get started in measuring, we need to talk about some maker math. And lucky for you, I already did the maker math, so we don't have to work it out together. But since we're making two 15-ounce candles, I'm actually going to pour to 13 ounces because I really want to have a gap that's big enough for a wick and the lid. And I always go with a 10% fragrance load because I'm always extra. So we're going to be doing 332 grams of wax per candle and 37 grams of fragrance oil per candle. Or mils, whichever is easier for you. I'm just too lazy to go back and forth on my scale, which is why I always stick to grams. Now, we're going to be using a beautiful new fragrance oil that I haven't used before. We'll come back to that. At least I don't think I've used it. But first, let's measure our wax because we need it to melt. So we're targeting 332 grams of Freedom Soy Wax. Freedom Soy Wax is a really, really beginner-friendly wax. It was basically made to be easy. 332, right? Okay. Oh. Come on, bro. Oh. Hey, we did it. All right, Brett, it's time to go in. Melt. All right. So while that's happening, we're also going to measure out our fragrance oil. Now, I always cover my scale with a piece of parchment paper and a paper towel so that I don't, if I do spill, which I often do, I'm not spilling on my actual table. I'm concerned about spilling fragrance oil on my table because then it's going to smell like that forever and I'll want to kill myself. Even if it is a beautiful scent, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we're shooting for, hold on, I need my measuring cup. We're shooting for 37 grams of fragrance oil. Before we actually measure that out, let's talk about this. So this is vanilla fragrance oil from Village Craft and Candle, and the top note is coconut vanilla crunch. Mid is cinnamon, honeyed soft butter. And the base is, I don't know if I'm going to say this word right, cassia root. Brr. It's spelled C-A-S-S-I-A, root, vanilla sugar, and tonka bean. So this is going to be hella sweet. I'm excited. All right, so why am I putting that back? We need it. We need 37 grams of oil. Let me grab some paper towels so that if I do spill, I can recover quickly. And keep an eye on my wax. Make sure it's melting nicely. Okay, 37 grams. Here we go. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. What a sweet smell. That hit me so quick too. Oh my God, I only need 1 more gram. Do you think I'll make it? I think I'm going to go over. Beep. Oh, I'm so proud. So proud for no reason because she's over. Does it matter? Not really. But because I'm extra, if you hadn't heard that earlier, I'm going to actually use a pipette to take a little bit out. Yeah. Okay. Is it that big of a deal? No, it's not. So just to be clear, I'm a bit of a rule follower. There's no denying it. So when I have my mathed, we're going to math it as accurately as possible. Okay, I'm going to put that aside for now. And we're going to remeasure all these things again in a minute. So first, I need to get my vessels ready. And I'm going to take my gloves off for that because this will end badly if I'm wearing gloves when I'm using wick stickums. And I'm going to also move these lids out of here because I don't want to accidentally something. So the wax is melting very quickly. And that's one of the things I love about the American Soy organic waxes is that they're all, dude, get off my finger. I know. Oh God. Sorry. The American Soy Organics waxes are all in bead form, which is super useful to people who make small batch candles like I do, where I'm only making like anywhere from 2 to 6 candles at one time. The American Soy Organics are all beads. So those beads can be put in the microwave in a microwave safe container. Did you see how long that took? In case you were wondering, it was 17 years of my life and yours. Okay, I'm over it. So they can be put in the microwave using microwave safe, whatever. I use like Anchor Hawking measuring cups, and they're very good. And it's super convenient because you pop them in the microwave and you have melted wax in 2 seconds. Like it's really, really convenient if you just want to make a couple of candles. Like you can do it in no time. Okay, so these are glass, which is why I'm going to be using a little bit of Windex to clean the inside. You could totally wash them in the sink as well with soap and water. And the reason I'm cleaning them is I'm going to clean pretty much anything that comes in contact with this, including the bottoms of the wicks and whatnot, because we want to make sure that there's no dust or debris anywhere, because it'll end up in your finished product. And there will be dust and debris because these are stored in storage rooms and stuff. How you doing? Ooh, you're very melty. I like it. Keep it going. Okay, so in terms of wicks today, I'm going to be using Stabilo 8 wicks, which have about a 2-inch diameter roughly. And I'm doing that because I have often overwicked in my previous candle experiments because I had fear of not making it to the vessel walls with my melt pool. But I had noticed that my flames were a bit aggressive. And at times the vessels had a bit of soot around the edges, which tells me that my candle is burning too quickly because my wicks were too aggressive. So we're going to pull back a little bit and start under wicking. So we're doing the Stabilo 8, which is the smallest Stabilo I have. I think there's also a Stabilo 6, but not here. All right, so I'm going to clean the base of these as well because they are coated in wax, and in the packaging it falls off and stuff, and I just don't want anything to get in the way of the bond of the bottom of the wick with the wick stickum. Now, I love wick stickums. They're basically just little double-sided stickers that are perfectly sized for wicks. But you could totally use a hot glue gun and put a little drop of hot glue on it. Lots of creators do that. I've also seen people put like just a very fine layer of wax on the bottom of their vessel and plop it in and wait for it to solidify for them to stay in place. Also an option. But not the option we're going to be taking today because I'm lazy and these are easy. There are also several tools out there that you can use to position your wicks appropriately and place them in the vessel, but I don't have those. And I like being a little bit not perfect, so I'm cool with it. So I'm going to eyeball this, and my plan is to have them basically side by side right in the center with a little bit of a cushion on either side of the wall and each other. So I'm going to say right about here. How you doing? And right about there. What do you think? Am I off center? I think so. Oh, I'm really off center. This is way closer than that one is. Can I lift you? Yippee! Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's better. I am much more pleased with that. Now I'm going to use something to push these down. Actually, I could probably fit my hand in here. I'm always convinced my hand won't fit anywhere because I have these big man hands. But these are 15 ounces. I could probably fit in there. How you doing, Wax? You melty yet? Not yet? Okay, no problem. It's cool. I'm good. I have another vessel to wick. So we're also going to be using some wick centering tools. I picked these ones up off of Amazon. And I really enjoy them because they have so many options. But I kind of wish they had put one more hole on either side of the center one. It's like, I'm very Goldilocks about things like that. I'm not going to leave these on. I just want to show you. Cool, eh? It's basically just a popsicle stick. But I think I got like 100 for a joke. It was like, I don't know, not much. They're super cost effective and highly reusable. So always good. Where did I put my wicks? Here we go. So let's wick these guys too. So yeah, I'm testing under wicking as opposed to aggressively wicking. And so far it's been going pretty well, I have to say. It tells me that I've always been a little aggressive with the way I've wicked my candles in the past. And also, there is a lot to be said for the various combinations. So in relation to your wax and your wick and your fragrance oil and the color and all of that, the vessel you're using, where you're burning your candle, all of these impact, you know, the performance of your candle. If you have your candle in a very breezy area, it's not going to perform the way another, you know what I mean? Like there's so many things that impact your candle. So it's really hard to be sure. Is it the wick that's the issue? Is it the only way you're going to know if it's the wick or the wax or the oil is you have to keep making the same candle over and over again using the exact same recipe until you realize which is the issue. You're going to keep changing one thing only, right? So is it the wicks? Try a different wick. It's still giving you the same trouble? Okay, then maybe it wasn't the wick. Maybe it's the wax. Try a different wax. That's the beauty of candle making. It really is part art and part science because you're constantly working with math and scientific whatnots, but you're also planning out, like, hopefully candles that really speak to you for some reason on a creative level. So our vessels are ready. We're basically just waiting for this wax to finish. I'm going to grab my my gloves again. So Freedom Soy Wax, we want to melt it to 160 degrees Fahrenheit is the recommended temperature. And in theory, we want to pour around the 135 degree Fahrenheit temperature. That would give you a really nice pour and hopefully would help mitigate anything across the top in frosting or whatever. But Freedom is actually really very much designed for small batches and for people who are just starting out because it's like really fast and easy. And since they come in the small beads, you can actually weigh it out and melt it like right there in the microwave, like without a big melter, which is a big deal. Like, frankly, it was one of the things that really drew me into trying candle making because I didn't want to invest in a big melter if it wasn't something I was going to use, right? Okay, let's see where we at. Oh, 187. We are cooking. We are cooked. All right. Okay. Oh boy, oh boy. 184. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and mix in my fragrance oil. Just grab a piece of paper towel or 7. All right. Now, it's very important to make sure that you stir your fragrance oil and wax for at minimum 2 minutes, but 3 would be better. It's currently 10:16 a.m. and we are going to stir until 10:19 because I do 3 minutes. And basically the reason for that is super simple. You really want the wax and the fragrance oil to combine as well as humanly possible, or even more than humanly possible, as well as chemically possible, scientifically possible. Why did I just do that? Oh, because I'm so well trained to clean my vessel, but I'm going to use the exact, okay, I don't want to talk about it. I literally cleaned it and I'm going to use it in 2 seconds for the same fragrance. What are you going to do? Some days are better than others. I'm going to say that today I look really cute. Not that you can see me, but because you can't be smart and cute at the same time at all times. You know what I mean? Like you can have moments. At least that's me. I don't know about you. Maybe you can be cute and smart consistently and consecutively, but I cannot. Clearly. So yeah, we gotta be patient and stir the wax. So while we're doing that, let's talk a little bit more about Freedom Soy Wax. So it's specifically designed to make your life easy. It's like a low melt soy wax, which is the key. It helps with getting great sidewall adhesion. You know what I mean? So it really cuts down on that annoying white frosting that makes beginners feel like they did something wrong. You're not doing anything wrong when you get frosting in soy. Soy frosts. So that does happen. But it can feel a little intimidating when you're still learning candle making. So anyway, it really does help you skip a lot of the usual soy wax hassle. And like I said, they recommend heating to 160. So that's fine to put in your fragrance oil. But for like a smooth single pour top, you want to aim to pour at around the 135 degree Fahrenheit mark. You want to pour it slowly and let it cool naturally. So no cold drafts. That's really the secret to avoid sinkholes and shrinkage. But that's why mine have sinkholes and shrinkage, because I never cool my candles slowly because I'm in my basement and my basement is very chilly. So I often have aesthetic imperfections on my candles, which I accept because that's the way it goes. And I don't really care. I'm not about being perfect. I just want to make some candles and, enjoy myself, basically. All right, we're at 10:19, so it's time to pour. I'm going to actually measure the temperature. For sure, I am not at the 135 mark. If I'm even at 150, I'd be surprised. 154, okay. So I'm going to pour this hot because I don't care. So here we go. I will pour it slow, though. Man, does this smell delicious. It's not nauseating, Like I was a little worried because vanilla tends to be really on the gourmand side. So it has that really sickly sweet kind of possibility to it. Beautiful. Beautiful fill line. That's exactly where I want to go. I'm very pleased with that. Very good. Now, be smart and don't clean the inside. So we're going to measure some more wax into this and pop it back into the double boiler. You go over here. I will fix the wicks in a second. Okay, again, we're looking for 332 grams. Although this one might be a little bit more tricky because the vessel's hot, so it's going to start melting it. I don't know if that's going to do anything to it, but I will keep it in mind and try to move a little faster than usual. Get out of town! I did it on the first try. Yippee! Woo! Okay, you know what? I'm going to pretend I didn't see that because it could be what I just finished saying about the melted wax and stuff. So we're going to pretend that that's what happened. But now I'm going to go ahead and put my wick centering tools on this guy. So here is a Mary IHC tip for you in relation to the way you work with your wicks. When you've poured your candle and you use your wick centering tools, if you have them, I recommend. If you don't have them, you can use a pencil and try to wrap the wick around it. That's also something that you could try, or maybe a dowel and set them up so that they hold each other up straight. I don't recommend it. It's worth buying with wick centering tools. They really do a great job, and they're very cost effective. They're not very expensive, I don't think. At least not these ones. They were super cheap. But the number one thing I want to point out is when you've just poured it and you put your wick centering tools in, that's great. You want to make sure that your wicks are super duper straight. But it's when you walk away, when you're done and you're about to walk away, that's when you really need to check that your wicks are straight. For as long as you can see through your wax, you should be checking to see if your wicks are still straight and they haven't moved. And the only reason I'm saying this is because it's happened to me that, you know, I made sure my wicks were straight and then I went ahead and tra-la-la through life doing other things. And it turns out that they were not straight, or they moved before the wax solidified enough for them to stay in place. And I ended up with a wonky wicked candles, which, whatever, they'll still burn, but okay. I think you got my point about making sure your wicks are straight. So let's move on. I am going to measure out my fragrance oil for round 2. Oh, look at how wet that is from the moisture. All right. So again, we're looking for 37 grams of oil. Ooh. I should use my pipette now, but no, I won't. I'm going to try. I want to get to 37. 36. I'm truly the worst, in case anybody was wondering. Because I will do this, because I don't care. I really want to get it. Boop. Oh. You won't do it, will you? Rude to me? Very, very rude. All right. Ugh. You know what? I would totally swear right now if I wasn't on a live, I tell you. Not only did it go over by a bit, but I got fragrance oil all the way down the side of my bottle, which if anybody has seen another one of my videos knows is a major pet peeve of mine. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit out. Solo un poquito. Next time I'll be good and I'll use the pipette before as opposed to after, but whatever. I'm still bitter. Okay, beautiful. So now you can skeet out, and now you see exactly why I do this portion of our show, because Mary spills things all the live long day. All the live long day. Okay. What do we got going on over here? How you doing? Pretty good, pretty good. You'll notice that I don't really monkey around with the wax. It's really unnecessary because it's in bead form. It really does melt quite rapidly and without much intervention. You really don't need to do anything to it because it knows its job. You know what I mean? The other great thing about this wax, Freedom Soy Wax, is that since we're doing a winter project, this wax is super perfect for it because it has low melt properties. So it really thrives in cooler temperatures like the ones we have in my craft room right now. It means we get a better, more reliable finish today. So there's a good chance that even though I poured that at a not so great temperature, that I'm still going to end up with a pretty smooth top once it cures. But the important thing to note actually about the fact that it has a low melt blend, that it is a low melt blend, is that it softens or starts to soften around the 115 degree Fahrenheit mark. That's a low melt point. Like it means that it helps with it getting that beautiful smooth top and reducing frost, which is great. But it does mean that you need to be smart about the way you store it. Because if you ever plan on selling your candles, just remember that direct summer sunlight or like hot shipping routes can definitely cause these to melt a little bit. So always store your finished soy candles in a cool, dark place, especially Freedom Soy, because it is a softer melting soy. So there's a little bit about Freedom Soy. I am a fan, as I said, of American Soy Organic waxes. And you can get them, I believe you can get them on Amazon. Definitely in the US. In Canada, you can get them from Village Craft and Candle. I believe Village Craft and Candle is the only company that sells American Soy Organic waxes in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. So just a reminder, you can get 5% off at checkout if you use code IHC5. I'm just saying, you know, because I love me some 5% off, you know. All right, we are getting closer. I'm getting impatient. So I'm going to start being annoying, getting involved in things that do not involve me. Hey, what you doing? How you doing in there? You doing good? How you doing? Yeah? Oh, sorry. Did I break up the party? Oh, so sorry. You shouldn't have invited me. You must know what I'm like at a party. I'm going to steal the spotlights and break up the fun. That's not at all what I do at parties, by the way. But please don't invite me to parties. I don't want to go to any parties. This is my idea of a party, legit. How? Is that sad? Is that awesome? You decide. But don't tell me because I don't want to know. It's cool. It's cool with me if I don't know. I'm going to have a little sip of water. Delicious and refreshing. Always hydrate, friends. You will notice that as a constant theme on my channel, to always hydrate, and also to don't let crafting be stressful. It doesn't need to be. Candle making can be a little bit stressful because of, you know, science. But outside of once you have your maker math done, like once I've figured this out, I'm pretty much just giggling because I enjoyed this whole process. It's fun. And never in a million years would I think that I would have candles or that I would make my own candles. I remember how like candles are so expensive, especially like when you're younger. When I was like a teenager, I could never afford one of those beautiful Yankee candles or Bath and Body Works. Oh man, go into that store if you want to expire from delight. 178. Okay, we are ready to party because I believe you are fully melted. It looks like to me. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. All right, you hang out. I need to get this out of here because I'm very good at causing disasters, like next level disasters. So we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. Safety first, kids. Safety first. Okay. Very nice. So where are we at here? 179. That's quite a lot. I'm actually going to scoot this over a little bit more. Well, you move first before I burn myself. I'm going to make you go up here. Very good. All right. And you're going to go right there. That's great, lad. That's great. All right. Let me get some paper towel just in case I make a mess. Just in case. Just in cases. All right, we begin. Let's drop that oil. Drop it like it's hot. I don't think I can go through one live without showing my age in one way or another. It's pathetic, but whatever, who cares? I definitely don't. All right, it is currently 10:30 a.m. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be stirring for 3 minutes. Starting now. Not really. I'm going to clean my... Always clean as you go. Always clean as you go. It will make your life infinitely easier in the end. We also don't want to like freak out and stir like a crazy person who's, you know, having a good time stirring. You want to be moderate in your stirring speed. This is a reminder to myself because I have a tendency to get a little too aggressiva with the way I stir. And that's really just because if you can avoid introducing air into your wax, that's something you should always try to do. I mean, unless you're whipping your wax, in which case what you want is air in your wax. Speaking of whipping wax, I've whipped wax a couple of times on this channel. Let's see if I can remember. I've done it 3 times. And I've gotten better each time, which I'm proud of. Because I don't practice in between. I'm not... What you see on my channel is me trying things sometimes for the first time, a lot of times for the first time. And so you see the good things and the bad things, and we go through it together because I enjoy crafting. So anyway, the first time I made whipped wax candles was for a Hogwarts-inspired potion candles. Oh my God, those were so much fun. I really, really enjoyed that. Mary from the future is going to put that replay up here in the corner. So if you want to watch that video, you can enjoy it with me because I always enjoy doing Harry Potter themed projects, especially when I can, you know, use a little bit of cleverness and creativity while planning out the project. It's fun. I enjoy it. I also did a whipped wax 15-ounce project. Those were for Easter, and they had these super cute little toppers, these little ducks. It was ducks and what else? I can't remember. Was it just ducks? No, it was ducks and bunnies, bunny butts. It was super cute. So I'm going to link that up here as well in case you want to watch that one because that was super fun. I really enjoyed that. That was a really fun project. And then, oh, we're at 10:33. Let's pause. I'll tell you about the third one after. It's time to pour. Let's see. 147. Okay, well, that's closer. Again, if you wanted to make sure or try to make sure that you get a really good smooth top without frosting and sinkholes and whatnot, you want to pour around the 135 degree Fahrenheit temperature. But that would require me to be patient and wait. And I'm not into that. So we're just going to go ahead and pour it at the current temperature and move on with our lives. Look at how quickly the wicks are like, I'm out of here. It's getting too hot. Hey, they're both down. That's okay, guys. Don't worry. I've got wick centering tools. You'll be fine. Yeah, this 13 ounces is a great fill. So if you use these vessels, targeting 13 ounces of melted combined wax and fragrance oil, that is a good place to start or to target. Apologies, but I will always pause to clean my equipment, particularly anything with melted hot wax, because this will save me a lot of pains in my tuchus also known as my behind, my culo, and I don't know. I can't even think of the Macedonian word. My husband's going to kill me. I really can't. My brain won't give it to me. Okay, let's move on. We don't need to talk about that. Okay, I don't need my gloves anymore, thankfully. Now we've got one more step after I put the wick centering tools on these very not energetic wicks over here. Beautiful. See, this is a perfect example. This is actually making my wicks go a little bit like this because the holes are too far off. These two together are too close. So I'm going to actually try to go. No, that's going to be the same problem. Let's try this. But now you can't fall in because I will legit lose it. Contrólate. Okay. Everything's fine. Nobody move. Everybody's okay. All right. So I actually made a couple of these earlier this week so that we could complete the full process together, which is what I try to always do for lives because it's fun to make the candles literally from start to finish together. So I made these earlier this week, and surprisingly, I do not have any sinkholes. And the tops are pretty, not too bad. This one's a little bit more on the rough side. Hold on, let me trim down my wicks and then I'll show you a little bit more close up. So when you trim your wicks, you want to be about 1/4 inch, not much more than that, from the top of your wax. This is plenty of wick to light your candle. Geez, can you go to the spot I want, please? Thank you. You don't want the wicks to be too tall because then you'll end up getting a crazy flame, which is going to give you soot and it's going to give you other issues, and which is exactly what we're trying to avoid with these Stabilo 8s in the first place, is to not overwick. All right. So let's have a quick look at the tops together before we light them, because you'll never be able to see them like this again. So my lighting makes this a little hard, but you can see that it's super glossy, the Freedom Soy finish. It's really, really nice. And it also, this one in particular, this candle has some cracking in it, but nothing that's actually broken. It just, you can see that it wants to crack, but it never actually did. But super duper buttery smooth and soft. Not like push soft, but like really smooth. This one came out really, really smooth. Okay, let's see if I can make you see. Beautiful. A really pretty top. Now, had I planned this earlier, I would have it handy, but now I'm going to run off to the side and grab something because I do want to top these candles a little bit with some mica powder. We're gonna brush a little bit of mica powder on here on top because this is the white on white candle aesthetic. Okay, we have two options for what we're gonna potentially brush on here. They look almost the same to me. I guess this is more metallic-y. Can you see a difference? Because I can't. No, I'm going to use this one because it's the one in my right hand. And I'm going to use a paintbrush. And we're just going to, I'm trying to get everything out of the lid so it doesn't go all over my table. Wait. Okay, that's smarter. All right, so we're going to brush just a little bit across the tops to make it iridescent. Do I like this? Yeah, it's pretty. Ooh, you know, I even like the idea of doing it a little blotchy and messed up so that it's not perfectly uniform across the top, like just a little. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, I like that. So that it's not really a design and it's not like a perfect. Pretty. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm enjoying it. Now, you got to be careful with mica powder because what we definitely don't want is for it to clog our wick. Can you see the iridescence of that? Ooh, it's pretty. I like it. I like it. And again, I'm going to be random about it because I like that look. Yeah, so you need to be careful about the mica powder that you use. First of all, you want it to be cosmetic grade, meaning you could use it in cosmetics if you chose to, like bath bombs or lipstick or pretty much anything. Eyeshadow, nail polish. But you want it to be cosmetic grade, and you got to be careful because you don't want it to clog your wick, which could then ultimately cause your candle not to perform properly. That looks cool. Mi piace. This doesn't even matter, by the way, because I'm literally going to light these right now. But I don't care. I think it's a cool idea. And I want to have like the complete candle done before we light it. So, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's a cute idea. You know, you want to be, again, conservative with the amount of mica powder that you're using so that you're not going to have any issue with your wick. I want to move this a little bit. It's bothering me that it's crooked. That's better. Okay. Why does it matter? It doesn't, but I'm Mary and this is what I do. Okay. So next we are going to put our caps on, our little lids on so that we can see the full look. Now, obviously I made 4 lids so that we could put one on each candle. And I won't be able to do that until these have cured. So for today, you guys are going to wear 2 different hats and it's going to be fine. It's going to be super fine. So let's start with the star. Look how cute. I love it. So this is Village Crafting Candles 4-inch white pine lids, which are their luxe lids designed to work with this vessel, the 15-ounce vessel. Like, tell me you wouldn't love getting a gift like this from somebody. I think this would be beautiful as a Christmas gift. Vanilla scented. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Then we've got a snowflake. Could you be any cuter? Can you see that? It's kind of hard to see the white on white. I apologize, but I can't help it. Winter, white on white, get out of here. You have to do it. You have to. Just such a pretty, and this is a new vessel for Village Crafting Candle. I mean, they've had 15-ounce luxe jars for a very long time in various colors, but they've never had this matte white, which is super, it has this elegant, luxurious nonsense about it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy off. Beautiful. And you can see that my wicks are in good shape. So the lid didn't touch my wicks. So this 13-ounce capacity is beautiful. Beautiful. Take this guy off too. You've had your moment. All right. So now we're going to do, this is the abstract. I'm really happy with the way that one came out. Cute, right? I love it. I love it. And this is the straight up mandala, which we made in real time. I don't remember if I linked the video for these lids yet, or if I referenced it for the replay. So if I didn't, Mary, put it up there. But if I did, please ignore, because that's what Perry does to Mary. Okay. So I'm very pleased with these lids. They came out super cute and it's all very, very lovely. But now it's time to light these little babies up. and see how these guys perform. So here we go. Say goodbye to the mica powder, because if I'm correct in my assessment of using Stabilo 8 wicks, we should get a melt pool right up to the vessel walls, which is what I'm shooting for. So if you do decide to gift, can you even see that? That is really blown out. That's unfortunate. But anyway, if you decide to gift your candles to people, I highly recommend that you put a warning label on the bottom of your candle. Village Crafting Candle does sell them, but you can make your own. Just something that explains that you should be cutting your wicks down to 1/4 inch. And you really can't see that. That's a bummer. You want to cut your wicks down to that 1/4 inch mark. And the first time you're lighting a candle, you want to let that melt or burn or stay lit for no less than 2 hours, but no more than 4. Usually I shoot for 3 hours because I want to make sure I get a full melt pool on my first burn. And the reason for that is because if you've ever noticed that you lit a candle and you ended up with like, let's say you lit this candle and then 10 minutes or 20 minutes from now or an hour from now, you're like, oh, I got to get out of here. I have to run an errand. I can't leave this candle lit. So you have to blow it out. You'll probably end up with just about that much of a melt pool. So nowhere near the edge of your vessel walls. You'll have that much still unmelted. And you'll end up with like a divot. It will continue to burn that way. It's an easy way to have tunneling happen. So to avoid that, you want to definitely make sure that you let your candles melt all the way across on the first burn. And that will encourage the candle to continue to operate at full capacity for the entirety of the burn. Both the day that you're doing it and future burns as well. So something to keep in mind. Well, this was a very quick pour because we didn't do any color, nothing fancy happening here other than a great fragrance oil that smells lovely and this beautiful white on white aesthetic. We got everything white here. The vessel, the lids, the paint, the cotton wicks, the wax. It's all the white things over here for winter. Winter white. Anyway, I really enjoyed making these candles. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a fun time making these super winter white candles. If you missed any steps, this video will be available for replay like literally the second I end the stream. So feel free to play back and watch it. I'll be back on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a beginner-friendly dot along where we'll be dotting a wood star wall hanging. I'm super excited to do that. Haven't decided what colors I'm going to make it. So stay tuned for that. We'll decide on Monday. On Thursday of next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be making a beautiful red poinsettia wreath. I'm so excited to make that wreath. I have been thinking about it forever. I've seen a bunch of them online and I'm just super, super jazzed to make it. So tune in for that if you're interested. And next Saturday morning, we're going to be making candles again at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to be making these super cute and very giftable spa-inspired candles. I'm very excited about it. But anyway, in the meantime, if you're interested in learning more about candle making, feel free to check out the other videos on my channel. All of my videos are beginner friendly and they're really here for you to follow with me along on my journey as I continue to become hopefully a better candle maker and general crafter all around. So check out my channel and don't forget to subscribe so that we can continue to get crafty together. Toodaloo!